Here are the essentials for making your holiday cake. Credit card, dental floss,
and an ugly Christmas sweater.
Oh, we're turning the show upside down and mixing it up. We are making dessert first.
Everybody Cook starts now.
Hi, welcome to Dierbergs Presents Everybody Cooks. I'm Barb Ridenauer.
And I'm Marianne Moore, and it's an ugly sweater Christmas party.
Yeah, well, you got a nice one there.
Seriously, we have an awesome show tonight. It's full of tips, holiday inspiration, and I really love this menu.
So you're really gonna cook in that sweater?
It's probably not a good idea since it is one of my mom's favorite sweaters, but I think we are ready to cook, and you're starting with cake. And everyone needs a cake that's going to wow their friends in the holiday season. You want it to look wonderful, taste wonderful, and be stunning.
You do, and in the magazine we have 3 recipes that are absolutely perfect for this, and they're simple because they all start with a cake mix that you just embellish. Now what we're going to show you tonight is our white chocolate orange cranberry cake. Starts with a yellow cake mix. You add a little bit of freshly grated orange peel, and that adds great fragrance and flavor. Then when you bake the cake, the first step that's really important to making your cake look beautiful is to line the bottom of the pan with parchment paper. That way it will not stick to the pan when you invert it. And we're using an 8-inch cake pan that makes a little more height to the finished cake. When you take it out of the pan, one side is rounded, and you want to leave that down because as the cake cools, it flattens out a little bit, and having a nice flat cake is part of what will make it look really professional. We're going to split each of the cakes in half, and I'm going to use a piece of unflavored dental floss, actually, and this is a really nifty trick. You just take the floss and you wrap it around the outside of the cake. Try to center it the best you can, and then if you crisscross the ends, and pull, that dental floss just slices the cake right in half. It's a really easy way to do that. Now, before you begin the assembly of the cake, you want to have everything ready. So I've already made some marshmallow frosting, and I want to make a white ganache for the filling. This is just some cream that you put in the microwave and add some white chocolate chips. Then you stir until it's nice and smooth, and to finish it off, I'll add some sweetened dried cranberries. We'll set this aside to let it thicken just a little bit, or if you want to hurry it up, you can even put it in the refrigerator for just a few minutes. Now we're ready to assemble the cake. And this is a 4-layer cake, so it looks impressive, but I want to show you how easy it is to do. To keep the cake plate nice and clean, we're going to just use some strips of wax paper, and then I'm going to actually begin layering the cake, but I want to be able to stack the cake exactly back in the same relationship. So I'm going to put some wooden picks in the cake, and I can match those up. Now I'll put the bottom layer right on top of that wax paper. I'm going to add a little bit of additional orange flavor to the cake. This is a syrup that's made with orange juice and a little bit of extra sugar. You put that in the microwave, and we'll just spread that over the top of the cake generously, which adds a nice burst of flavor, but also helps to keep the cake from drying out. Now we're ready for some filling, but I want to show you another trick for that. I have some of the marshmallow frosting that I put into a plastic bag. I'll just snip off the corner of that, and I'm going to pipe a layer all the way around the edge of the cake. What this is going to do is contain the filling so that it doesn't drip down the edge of the cake. I'll use a scoop to help portion out that filling. And then an offset spatula is actually a great tool. You can just push that filling right up to the edges of that piped border that you made. So you can see, so far, nothing difficult about this cake, right? What we're going to do now is we're going to repeat those layers 2 more times. So now we are ready to add the final layer to the top of the cake, and you want the cake again nice and flat, so what was against the bottom of the pan actually becomes the top of your cake. That'll give you the flattest surface. I'll use the wooden picks again to line up the layers, get a nice even top here, and we're ready to add the frosting. This frosting couldn't be easier. There are only 3 ingredients in the frosting, and it's marshmallow cream, butter, and vanilla. You just beat it until it's really smooth and creamy, and even though it's very simple, it's one of the creamiest frostings you'll ever taste. I like to ice the sides of the cake first, and then you can spread the rest of the frosting over the top. And at this point, you don't need to be too worried about how smooth the frosting is. You just want to make sure the cake is thoroughly covered and that it's fairly even. And then what we'll do is we're going to put the cake in the refrigerator for about 20 or 30 minutes. That lets the butter in the frosting firm up a little bit. And when it does that, we have a really cool trick to show you for how you can make your cake look like it came right from that pastry shop. I think this is ready for the refrigerator now. One more thing, I want to take these strips out. We've kept the plate nice and clean while we were working, and they've done their job.
While Barb's been busy baking and frosting the cake, I've been getting everything together to decorate the cake. First up, candied cranberries. Start with a little bit of simple syrup, which is just sugar and water that you microwave for just a couple minutes until the sugar dissolves. Pour it over some fresh cranberries and toss it around a little bit, and then drain off the excess water. They need to dry for about an hour or so, so put them out in a single layer on a piece of parchment paper that's on a sheet pan. I have some that are already ready to go. To finish the cranberries, use sanding sugar. It's that big, fat, coarse sugar that makes everything sparkly. You can find it at Dierbergs bakery. Pour it right over the top of the cranberries, and don't be stingy on the amount. Stir everything together till all of those cranberries are coated and everything glistens. They look nice and sparkly, but I think the cake needs just a little bit more bling. So I'm gonna candy some orange peel too. I've got this gizmo. It's called a channel knife. It makes nice thin ribbons of orange peel. Now, if you don't have one, no worries. Use a vegetable peeler and a knife to make the small strips. Just make sure that when you're zesting the orange, that you don't get a lot of that white pith in there. That's what makes everything bitter. The peel goes into some sugar and water, a few minutes in the microwave, and ta-da, you've got some candied orange peel. So the cake has been chilled and it's ready to decorate. Here's the tip for making the cake look like it came from a pastry shop. After you've given that credit card a nice workout doing all that holiday shopping, clean it off and use it to smooth out all the ridges and bumps that are on the cake. Now, the cake needs to be chilled for this to work, so if you feel like the frosting is softening just a little bit, put it back in the refrigerator and you can get back to work in no time. The cake is nice and smooth, so now it's ready to decorate, the fun part. Start with these beautiful cranberries and mound them right on the top of the cake. Make sure to save a few for the bottom of the cake plate. I like to put just a little mound right there. And then that candied orange peel. Again, using some of it down near that nice little mound of cranberries. And then to finish the cake, some white chocolate curls. These are white chocolate. They're available in dark, and you don't have to make them yourself. You can find them in Dierbergs bakery, and I can guarantee you, you'll be using these to garnish all kinds of fabulous desserts all through the holiday season. And I'll tell you a little secret.
Yeah.
Kind of like to snack on them too.
Yeah, you would.
I do. I love
So
it.
the cake looks amazing, though. You did a great job decorating.
Well, I think that we make a great team.
We do. Now, you know, this cake has several parts to it, but no one part is at all difficult. And if you want even more cake baking tips, you can go to Dierbergs.com. Now, this is just the start of our holiday meal, so we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away, because when we come back, we have the latest trend in party starters.